but I get concerned that in our popular culture, we have really demeaned the value of motherhood. And I think, frankly, honestly, that's one reason that we have problems with some moms kind of getting out of the job of doing their mothering well. And I think it's because we devalue it in the society. We value her much more if she runs out and gets a 6-figure salary and looks like a hottie and drives a nice car. So
it's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
Brought to you by Pediatric Dental Group of Colorado, creating positive and rewarding dental visits for kids of all ages since 1977. I kind of blame a little bit, the women's movement for saying women are just like men. We should be out in the workforce. We should be president. We should be astronauts. We should be making as much money as them. I am women. Hear me roar. And motherhood kind of got pushed to the side as being this, don't call me barefoot and pregnant thing. And I get concerned that we diminished motherhood in that era. What do you think?
I agree with you, and I think you're actually seeing kind of a shift here where a lot of women are writing about it, reporting about it, talking about it, having conversations with fellow women about it, in the sense that did we kind of suffer in some way in terms of that messaging, right, that we can go be a president, go be an astronaut, do anything a man can do, but we're also mothers, right? And that role, as any mother would say, is the most important role, and that in some way there's the emphasis on the professional heights that we can achieve and all the choices that we have, and we are so blessed to have them. But we have to grapple with, we still want to be mothers, and we want to be present with our kids' lives. We don't want to contract out and have other people raising our kids. And I feel like you're seeing sort of this pendulum, the shift going on where people are starting to working women, moms who work in the home, out of the home, whichever, are really grappling with it. And I'm sensing and hoping really as we move forward that maybe even women younger than ourselves are kind of seeing the struggles that some women have been having in current day and are thinking, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing going forward, that there still is this time, attention, and value placed on motherhood because of the importance we all know it has in our community and in our society.
Yeah. And, I think, again, I really avoid being political on this show, but some people would probably put my view of valuing family and motherhood in a conservative construct. I'm not saying it is. I mean, liberals can value family and motherhood too, but I get concerned that maybe that's been pigeonholed in that way politically. And it's one reason I am purposely citing somebody who is known as fairly liberal on family research. Cornel West wrote a book.
Right.
And he cites this. I want to read it out loud, and you and I can talk about it. A recent survey of 90,000 teenagers, the largest and most comprehensive study ever conducted on adolescent behavior, found that youngsters are less likely to engage in suicidal behavior, become violent, or use drugs if they are closely connected to their parents. This study found that the mere physical presence of a parent in the home, just the mere physical presence in the home after school, at dinner, and at bedtime, significantly reduces the incidence of risky behavior among teenagers, and it was a finding that was reinforced by recent research at the Harvard School of Public Health. In addition to that, the FBI says that peak hours for violent juvenile crime are now from 3 to 8 p.m. when a parent isn't at home with these children. And I am not condemning anyone. I know precious single moms and families that are struggling, they cannot afford to have one person stay at home. I get that. But if you do the surveys, most people would like to stay at home. So initially, they at least get the value of it. And so what I want to say, when people devalue motherhood and people say, no one values what I've done as a mom for the last 10 years and I can't get a job, that in fact, you're doing an enormous amount of good for our society, our country, our spiritual well-being, our emotional well-being as a nation by having stayed home and raised your kids well. And even moms that did work part-time and are able to get home for school, it does an enormous amount of good for our society. What do you think?
100%. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. We don't value it. I mean, we just don't in media, as you said, and just in terms of in every way which we talk about motherhood. I just don't think that we put the value on it. But yet, if you talk to any mom and dads too, I think people who are living it, they will say and see that this is my most important responsibility and the most important thing I can do.